What's going on with that recovery rally in Beam? We went up almost by 20% in the last week while Bitcoin is pretty much standing still. Let's have a look at the on-chain metrics. Let's have a look at the buyers and sellers. Let's try to find out whether or not this rally is organic and how much longer it can last. Now here we are at 1.5 cents per Beam, and Beam is actually the ported version of Merit Circle. So there's a direct conversion of MC tokens to Beam. It's 100 to 1. And the first video about Merit Circle was published pretty much 1 year ago. So that was over here on this chart. This is now the Merit Circle chart. The conversion from Merit Circle to Beam happened at the end of October of last year. And so after the release of that initial video, we had a rally of more than 1000%. Nobody was initially interested in the token. As we can see in the statistics, right? This is the performance of the MC video. That's the line in blue. A typical video is here in gray. But now here's the big question. Why is Beam or Merit Circle, which is pretty much the same thing, why is it going down that much since March of this year? And why is it recovering? Can we go back to prior heights? I believe a lot of the crash has to do with the general market dynamics in crypto, as in money flowing in and out of crypto. Because when we look at the stablecoin market cap, we've seen that contracting since May of 2024. So that was the Terra Luna and UST collapse. We then saw a turnaround in October of last year. And then in April of this year, there wasn't that much more money flowing into crypto anymore. So the stablecoin market cap didn't go up. And so that's then also the same time when the altcoin dominance tended to fall pretty drastically. And that also coincides with Merit Circle going down. But there's also a bit more to the story, and that is retail demand. If we want the price of an asset to double, we need to see a lot of new people jumping onto a project, or we need to see the whales buying in. Now let's have a look at the number of retail investors. There's two versions of the Beam token. There's one on the Ethereum chain and there's one on the Binance Smart Chain. Let's look at both. So what we've got over here is, since launch of Beam, the number of retail investors. So the way I measure this is I put a cutoff at 50,000 tokens as the minimum holding threshold for the wallet. So at current prices, that's $756. It's not a huge position, but it's definitely worth counting. And that did not increase since March of this year. So that's the Ethereum based token. Here's the same chart for the Binance Smart Chain. It's not flattening to the same degree as for Ethereum, but still the growth did decelerate quite a lot. And so when we take this point in time, right, when we take the beginning of March of this year and we correlate this with the price, that explains why we are going down. It's not the retail investor that's selling here, it's early insiders that are selling. So it's a clear transfer of wealth from the retail investor to the very early adopters. If you're not part of the club, then you probably got dumped on. And so that's why it's so important to be early. And again, I try to be very early on this channel. I publish videos very regularly. It's also very important to look at the general market. We didn't see much money flowing in April up until August, but now this is turning around. Now we are starting to pick up somewhat. And so the altcoin dominance might rise again. How much will Beam profit from this? Again, I'm not sure. We are already at more than 10,000 small holders. How likely is it that we're going to double, triple and quadruple again in the number of holders? It's much easier when you're at 500 holders. It's much harder when you're at more than 10,000. And so if I had to make a bet, I think that this recent rally is probably not going to last. Again, because in the grand scheme of things, it's the whales that dump on retail, and retail really isn't buying that aggressively anymore. If you like analyzing the blockchain and you want to know how to build those kind of charts, how to develop tools like this, feel free to check out Premium. It's down below. It's TheBitcoinStrader.com. This is also where I share my personal trades. If you're down too much on your crypto portfolio and you can't justify Premium, then there's also the free Telegram. The link is as well down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you over there as well.